Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I am Anthony Cordova.
Happy belated Father's Day to you and all the other fathers or father figures out there. My father figure is my mother.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that happy belated Father's Day. And I wish all the people that have been fathers, even like Jill, a lot of mothers have been fathers also. So happy Father's Day to you also. And I just want to say Father's Days are like always really wonderful for me. You know, especially, if I don't do anything, if I can just get to see my daughters.
Which you did this Father's Day.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me really happy because I'm really proud of them. They're both very successful.
Smart, beautiful,
and women,
kind.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So, I mean, I'm a parent that has no horror stories to tell about my children. It's amazing. I
hope
none.
my mother can say that. I don't know. I hope she can say that.
You're a good kid.
I tried to be.
Yeah. So anyway, what are we going to do this week? What are we going to talk about? What is the topic? What are we going to do?
This week, the topic is meeting the other person's family. So meeting your spouse's family and getting to know them, or meeting your partner's family, or if you're in a new relationship, just meeting the family and getting to know them for the first time.
Ooh.
It's all part of a segment that we call
Stand by your stance.
So, Tony, in my family, there have been a few surprise members to pop up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you married me, you met my uncles, my mom's brothers.
Yes, I did. I did meet them.
And my mom's sister.
Yeah, and
my grandmother.
Yeah, she didn't threaten to shoot me.
No, she was just asking if she could shoot the neighbors. She didn't, but she kept asking for someone to give her permission. And people wonder where I get my sassiness from and feisty. Actually, I get it from my mother too. She's sassy and feisty herself.
Yeah.
She may not admit she got it from her mother, but she did.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about me meeting your family first.
Yes, there were. You mean the ones you knew existed, or the ones that popped up later?
The ones I knew existed.
Okay.
So those are the ones you just spoke of,
right?
So your mother, your uncles, and
your
aunts.
And at the time, I had no siblings that I knew of.
No siblings at the time
that I knew of.
Yeah, so I was good. So I met all your family, and they your uncles put me through the ringer.
Yes, I took you to Kentucky for you to meet them.
Yes, and by the way, many of you that know Jill know that she's 4'11". She's really small.
I don't believe that. I believe I'm everybody else's height.
I know.
But now you know why.
But this was, yes, I do know why. But it threw me off when I met her family, because they were all like over 6'2" and
my
big.
uncles were. Yes.
Yeah, and yeah. So I couldn't understand it. What the heck? So yeah,
I was definitely the shortest one in the family you met.
Your big uncles, and they both have been in the service, and one was secret. I mean,
yes, he was Secret Service.
Secret Service. Yeah,
yes.
He was Secret Service
under Carter. And Reagan. No, Carter and Ford. I don't remember.
Might have been Carter and Reagan.
Yes.
Yeah. So the really, really big guys, and one of Jill's uncles looked like the guy from the James Bond movies. Remember the villain? They called him Jaws. I think that's what his nickname was.
Are you talking about Carlos?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Bobby?
No, Carlos.
Oh, because of his gold teeth?
Yeah.
That wasn't a grill.
It
wasn't a grill. He had some gold teeth. He was quite proud of.
But he looked like the guy from, the old James Bond movie.
Yes,
I think they called him Jaws.
And he was
that size.
And he was the Secret Service sniper. He's a sniper.
Yeah. So here I'm meeting these big guys, and I'm like 5'10", 180 pounds, and they're like 6'4", maybe 280, 290. So I'm like, oh, gee, I got to get to know these guys.
That's why I always thought I was everybody else's height, because I would look them in the eye growing up. It never occurred to me that I was that much shorter than them.
So, yeah, I did meet them, and we ended up all getting along just fine.
Yes, they definitely welcomed you in. I was nervous for you.
Yeah,
they decided to, come on, Tony.
Let's go for a ride.
Yes. I was a little nervous for you, but I knew you could handle them.
Yeah, I could hold my own.
Because they were quite harmless to people they liked anyway.
So, yeah, that was all good. So, I met all of Jill's family, and that was good. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm great. Met all her family. All is good. And several years went by, and something else happened.
Yes. I found my father's side of the family.
Ooh.
That, I never met, most of our listeners know I never met my biological father. But in 2010, I met people related to him who are, by U.S. standards, my cousins. But in Zimbabwean culture, they are my sisters, and my brother or my older mother or my older father. So my aunt and uncle were my older mother and my older father. And their children were my sisters or brother.
That sounds confusing. It's confusing.
I consider them my sisters and brother, the cousins.
First cousins.
Yes. Or my sisters and brother.
And then what about second cousins?
They're also sisters. Everybody's a sister or brother, or an older mother or older father.
But aren't there
That's why some people
older sisters and older brothers also?
Well, I'm the eldest of the daughters because I'm the oldest, but no one calls me older sister. They just call me sister or sissy. They call me sissy.
Okay. All right.
But that's why it is confusing, though, because we have people our age calling us their mother or their father.
Yeah, that
which
is,
was, I was like, I'm not your mother. Like,
that
but
is,
you are.
Yeah, one of your relatives on that
in England
on that.
Yes.
Yeah, he
always
and I talked to
us
him on the phone, and he says, "Hey, father.
What?
What?
And he's like our age or my age. Like, what? So it can be confusing, but either way, you met some new relatives, and also my sisters, or in this case, my cousins, told you, that you're not just my husband, you're their husband too.
Whoa!
So you gained some wives.
Whoa!
Too.
I don't want no more wives.
you have a lot of wives.
I had enough wives. No, I don't need any more wives, Jill. You're my last wife.
Along with them, you are their husband too. Which just means that you're there to, support them.
Yeah,
so
but there's one of your sisters that's tries to pull that
to
stuff.
Poor unsuspecting souls that she's dating. Is that what you're talking about?
No, she's always trying me. Like, no, she stopped trying me. I had to put my foot down.
Trying you for what?
She said, I'm on my way to Florida, and I like to drive fast.
Oh.
So when I get some speeding tickets, you're going to pay them, right? You're going to pay them. No, I'm not paying your speeding tickets. But why not? That's your job as my hubby. And I'm not paying. Look, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you where you can get away with speeding and where you cannot. And, when you need to slow down and all of these things all the way to Florida. I know the road very well. I know where all the police hang out and all of that. So I told her that. I said, look, the information I'm giving you is what I'm supposed to give you as a hubby. I'm telling you, don't speed through here. Right. If you get a ticket, then that's on you. I'm not paying the ticket.
But she's also the same sister / cousin who, in the past, when she's dated someone and she's talking to them on the phone or we're around, she'll say to him, "Here, meet my hubby." And he's like, "What? What?" And he was horrified. Remember? Well, he was half dressed, but anyway.
He was in bed, half dressed, and she just
and she had him on FaceTime.
On FaceTime, and she says, "Hey, say hi to my hubby." And the guy looks at me, and he just looks at me. I'm like, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" He's just looking, and he gets that little, tilted head look, like confused. And he's just looking at me. I said, "You doing okay? Is your evening going all right?" And he never did answer. He never did say anything to me.
And they're no longer dating. I don't know how much longer they lasted, but they're no longer dating.
Oh boy. See, but that was interesting.
Now we have even newer family members that have married into that side of my family. So we've met one husband by Zoom, sort of, and we're meeting the other wife that married into the family in a few weeks.
Yeah. And then I also gained a lot of nephews.
Oh, yes.
I gained a lot of nephews.
Because everyone we're speaking about now, they all had boys.
Yeah. So, and that was nice. Only one of the youngest nephew had a problem with Jill and I being married, I guess. He wanted.
He thought I was. And that's the other thing. The aunties are called mom. Your mommy also. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to come spend some time with me.
Yep.
But I think he wanted it just the two of us because he kept asking you, "Are you leaving yet? Are you leaving?
Hurry up and leave. Yeah, get out of here."
But he meant leave me. Forever. Like leave. When are you leaving and not coming back? And you were like, "I'm staying." And it wasn't long after that he got his little bag and was like, "I'm leaving."
Yeah. He got really upset.
Yes.
And then he came down and told us, "I'm leaving. I'm not staying here." And you two always agree with each other. And then we said to him, Okay.
And bye. We started laughing. Like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, and he stormed off again.
He stormed off, but he came right back.
Yeah, he eventually came back. He wasn't right back. Maybe an hour later.
Well, he just went upstairs. He didn't leave the house.
Yeah, but maybe an hour later, he sulked for a while.
Yeah, and none of us checked on him. Like, he'll realize we're good for him.
Yeah, and so it was really nice to, gain some nephews. I wish we all lived closer to each other.
Yeah, so I could see them more and
so I could see them more.
Because they're all, the nephews are all great kids. And
yeah, they are.
And, I've never been called auntie so much in my life, so that was new for me because I don't have, at the time I didn't think I had siblings.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that was good for me. But on your side of the family,
yes,
I'm very close to one of your brother's wife and your sister.
Yep.
We're very close.
You sure are.
We are prone, when we're together in person, we're prone to just get in the car and go. We don't say anything to anybody. Gone for hours and hours and hours. And we have a great time. We come back, we leave laughing, we come back laughing. And then when we speak to each other on the phone, we have a conference call periodically.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk 5, 6, 7 hours, no problem.
That's just insane. But I'm really happy that you all have that type of relationship.
Yes, we're all very close. Like I really appreciate them. I remember the first time with each of them that you and I were talking about a vacation, and then you were like, "Oh, and we're going to vacation with them," and I was like, huh? Because it never had occurred to me. Like, I can't think of my relatives, extended relatives. I've certainly vacationed with my mother and my grandmother that's who I used to vacation with.
Right.
But I can't think, I've never vacationed with any of my cousins. I've never vacationed, with extended family. And I can't imagine doing it now even. Sorry, cousins, but really.
Yeah. But I think in my case, the siblings we're talking about now, they're not only my siblings, but they're also my friends. We've created that friendship also.
Yes, you're very close. Because when I first met your brother, soon after I met you, I was like, when do you all fight? Do you fight? Fight. And you all would never fight. And I was like, but your siblings. I want to see a sibling rivalry. And you all just don't have that.
No, my oldest brother and I don't fight, never have fought.
Yes, I know.
Even when we've had disagreements, never fought. But look, we've been talking about all of these kind of positive things that happen with meeting the in-laws. So now, Jill, I would like to ask you about a negative meeting one of your in-laws. Please,
she wasn't my in-law at the time. She was just married. We were just dating. We were just dating.
So, but that's good too, because single people sometimes meet the person they're dating. Family.
Yes, that's usually when the introductions are made.
So,
and so the first time you took me to their house in another state and city, and
let it be known the my sibling is male, and
right.
So
the
sibling we're talking about.
Yes. So his wife,
one of my brothers.
Yes. So his wife, I guess she had decided she didn't like me before we arrived. So long before I got there,
she didn't like
that I
even met.
Yes, she didn't like that I existed. And so when we get there, it was very clear.
And by the way, she doesn't like me either.
Okay. Well, right. She thinks you have corrupted her children.
They wouldn't even let me see.
Well,
their children.
When she would get mad at her son, she would say he's acting just like you, which was an insult.
An insult, yeah.
Yes. So anyway, so the
Audience,
two of us.
Can you believe that?
That someone doesn't like Tony or me.
They don't like me? Wow.
Yes. So, but yet, and still, they knew that we were coming. They knew you were bringing me.
Uh-huh.
They knew we were coming. So we get there, and I'm pretty good about reading a room. So your brother was fine. He was fine. He really was curious about me.
Uh-huh.
His wife, on the other hand, I immediately felt my posture straighten, and she immediately made me bristle, and
Ooh.
It's because her she had her body language. She had her arms folded. She spoke to me like this, and then when she started speaking, it wasn't your fault. No. And then when she really started really being a part of the conversation, she let me know that she had written a letter to your ex-girlfriend telling her I existed and that she needed to come back. And I don't know why in the world she would think I would accept that. I don't care if I'm in your house. Why would I take that? Why would I just let that go? I didn't. So, me, I can choose my words without raising my voice or cursing you out.
Yes,
I can choose my words.
That is true.
And make you feel little.
Yes.
So I don't think she was ready for me, really. So I had my say, and she didn't talk to me the rest of the time we were there. It was a very short visit.
But
do you remember?
Yes, but didn't she also, and I don't remember whether it was on that occasion or a different occasion, but while you and I were standing next to each other, and she came up and started talking to you, and she said, well, just to let you know, I'm the only one that's got a good Cordova.
Yes. It was at believe it or not, listeners, it was at Tony's mother's memorial.
Right.
Tony's mother had passed away. We were at the memorial service, and she's whispering in my ear crazy stuff like that. So I turned around. I didn't interrupt her. I turned around and I was like, "You need to get away from me. You just need to stop talking and you need to get away from me. It's not going to end well for you, you know?" And so she kept up, and I initially I did let her know, you know, what a great man you are. And then I was like, you know what? She's one of those people. It doesn't matter what you say. She's going to believe what she believes.
Right.
So that's really when I told her, you need to back up, back up. I don't want to have to hit you at a funeral, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And again, she's much bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was willing to hit a B.
Hit a B?
Yes. A biatch. I was willing to hit a biatch.
Ooh, boy.
Because she was.
Yeah.
So,
and still is.
It still is. It still is.
So, yes. So there's good and bad in meeting in-laws and all of that. And to this day, that particular woman still tries to do stuff.
Right. And it's not just me, to all the family members, to other Cordovas.
Yeah.
Not the ones married into the family.
Yeah,
but
like
your siblings.
She sent a letter to my sister first saying how wonderful she was, and then she turned around and started telling her
what a horrible person
she was.
Had the nerve to write it and send it.
Yeah,
and we're not talking. We're not talking an email.
She said some really
horrific.
Listen, she said things like, "My sister years ago had a baby that passed away, and she told my sister that it was her fault that the baby passed away. The baby died because my sister wasn't living the life that." Mm-hmm. This other woman thought she should be living. Mind you, my sister's also very successful, very intelligent,
and kind, and beautiful,
and highly educated.
Yes, and beautiful and kind,
yeah.
and you know, she's loving, she's fun.
Yes,
you know, so
yeah. So there's somebody.
So
like that.
That case, I guess she's all of our in-laws because she married into your family. None of us like her.
No one.
So I don't feel bad for disliking her.
Yes, but listeners, that particular relationship had gotten so bad, and they just kept doing things that I just had to distance myself from them. Period.
Yes.
We are estranged.
Yes, we haven't seen them in a long time. And the last time they did come, we were kind to them, let them stay at our house, and and she got upset because she looked at a picture of your grandmother and remembered that the grandmother didn't like her either, and she stormed off. we haven't seen her since.
Oh no, but remember,
but she was mad that it was our house, and she was mad that you had the audacity to put a picture up of your grandmother.
Yes. So with meeting the family or meeting in-laws, it's not always a good experience. But if you're single and you meet the in-laws, and this person that you're with is, maybe you are considering getting married or having a committed relationship, you really need to look closely at the in-laws. And then you also need to look very closely at the person you're with and how they interact with your potential in-laws.
Right.
Because whatever that, the person you're dating is doing now and acts the way, how he or she acts around the potential in-laws, it may stay that way,
right,
or get worse. Once you get married.
Yes. I wish I learned that lesson the hard way. I wish I had paid. I did notice that the last time I got married, how he interacted with his family. But, it's really bad when your potential spouses or when your partner's own parents are telling you, maybe he's not the one for you. Because they did. They told me that. But I just thought they didn't like me.
Right.
But really, they were seeing, they're not a good fit. So I wish I had paid more attention to what they said.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something people say sometimes, and they say, well, you're not marrying the in-laws, so don't worry about it.
But they come along. It is a package deal. They come along too.
That's right. You need to think about that and whether you can interact well with your in-laws, because later it can cause a strain on your relationship.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good thing that I was 100% in support of Jill when she had to interact with this awful in-law.
Right. Right. Because if you had taken her side, oh no, we definitely, that would have been the end of us.
Yeah. So I have never, and Jill has even said to me, if they come knocking on the door.
Yes, I'll look right out the window, see them, and I'm not letting them in. Nope.
And I actually agree with her. I said, well, yes, absolutely. I said, and if they come and I am here, they're not getting in. They're just not. I can't bring that negative energy into our home.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's time for our second segment that we call
Give It a Rest and a Resolution.
Resolution, conclusion.
Resolutions and conclusions. I'm stalling, right?
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's a stall. It's a stall tactic.
Well, shall I go first then?
Sure.
Well, my conclusion is that in all relationships, you're going to meet someone associated with that person. So you're going to meet their friends, hopefully, and you're going to meet their family. And if you don't meet them, then maybe that's a red flag to you. That should be a red flag that you don't meet anybody associated with them, because then that means they're hiding you for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I'm really happy that you went first because it triggered a thought in my mind.
Go for it.
So you also mentioned friends, and friends, close friends, can be like family members,
right?
Also,
right.
So when you're meeting your the person you're dating or the person you're going to marry, and you are meeting their friends, you also need to look at them very closely.
Yes.
Because if there's some things about several of your partner's friends that you really do not like, you need to look a little closer at the person that you're with.
Right. Again, I learned that lesson the hard way.
That whole thing about birds of a feather flock together is actually true.
Yes.
So you need to take a close look at that. Nothing's worth giving up yourself just to be with someone.
Right.
You should do it.
Right. Well, it's time for our third segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Advice.
I have advice. You know what? The listeners even know what I'm going to say on this one.
Right.
And I want them to, I want them to say it with me. If you're with someone and you're dating them and you see some weird stuff about their family, if you see some weird stuff about their friends, run. Just run. It's much easier to just cut and run. I'm out when they call you and say, what's wrong? How come you're not talking to me anymore? No, I'm not there. Let's nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. Done.
Well, I'm going to go the other direction. So if you're in a relationship and you're meeting friends or family for the first time, or you're just trying to get to know them, be open. Open your eyes more and just observe, and answer their questions, because they always have questions. Answer their questions authentically. Don't make up don't say what you think they just want to hear, so that they can get to know you as well.
All right.
It's time for our fourth segment that we call
So
what do you think? What do you think? Because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
We do want to hear from listeners.
We do. We would love to hear some of your stories about meeting the in-laws.
And that number is
404-594-2247.
All right, time to wrap this up. You've been listening to I Am Right.
I'm Right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and thank you, listeners, for listening to us.
Thank you, listeners.
Bye.
We love you all. Bye-bye.